You expect a monster to look like a monster, but the person who might destroy your life probably looks like the nicest person you know. They are the friendly neighbor. They are the charming coworker. They are the perfect date, and by the time you realize what is actually hiding behind their smile, it is already too late. Today, we are going to tear down the illusion of the perfect mask and show you exactly how the most dangerous minds walk freely among us, completely undetected. If you find psychology as fascinating as I do, please hit that subscribe button right now. It really helps us bring these deep dives into the human mind to more people like you. Now let's get started. When we hear the term serial killer or psychopath, our brain immediately paints a picture of a deranged lunatic lurking in the shadows. We imagine someone socially awkward, visibly unstable, and easily recognizable. But the terrifying reality, the reality that criminologists and forensic psychologists see every single day, is that true predators do not look like predators at all. They look normal. In fact, they often look better than normal. They are the presidents of the PTA, the successful businessmen, the charming doctors. They build lives that look so incredibly ordinary that when they are finally caught, their friends and family always say the exact same thing: "I cannot believe it. They were the nicest person I knew, so how is this possible?" How can a human brain commit unspeakable acts in the dark and then go to a neighborhood barbecue the next afternoon and genuinely laugh at a joke? To understand this, we have to look at a psychological mechanism called compartmentalization. Imagine your mind as a house. For a normal person, all the rooms in this house have open doors. If you are angry in the living room, that anger spills into the kitchen. If you feel guilty in the bedroom, that guilt follows you into the hallway. Your emotions are connected, but for a highly psychopathic individual, their mental house has heavy, soundproof steel doors. They have the terrifying ability to completely isolate their identities. They can put their violent, monstrous desires into one room, lock the door, and walk into the next room to be a loving father or a dedicated employee. Without feeling any emotional crossover, the monster and the gentleman do not just live in the same body. They operate completely independently when they are at work. They are not pretending to be normal in that specific compartment. They are normal. That is why they do not sweat, tremble, or act nervous when interacting with society. The guilt from one room never leaks into the other, but compartmentalization is only half the story. The other half is their absolute mastery of impression management. Human beings are social creatures, and we rely on social scripts to navigate the world. We expect certain reactions in certain situations. Psychopaths are like incredibly gifted actors who have spent their entire lives studying these scripts. They know exactly how much eye contact to make. They know exactly when to smile. They know exactly what tone of voice sounds empathetic. This is known as mirroring. They scan you, figure out what you want to see, and they become that exact thing. If you want a confident leader, they are bold. If you want a sensitive listener, they are quiet and attentive. It is social camouflage at finest. They are wearing a human suit, constructed entirely from observing what normal people do. This brings us to a chilling distinction: the difference between feeling emotions and simulating them to get an outcome. Normal people experience empathy organically. If you see someone crying, you feel a pang in your chest. You feel their sadness. But a psychopathic mind operates on a purely cognitive level. They do not feel the empathy. They understand it logically. It is called cognitive empathy. They can look at you crying and think, "Ah, tears, this means they are sad." The social script dictates that I should offer them a tissue and pat their back. They execute the action flawlessly. They look like a caring friend, but inside, the machine is completely cold. There is no emotional resonance. It is a performance, and because they are not clouded by actual emotions, they can perform the script better and more convincingly than a normal, emotionally messy human being. They are playing a video game where human emotions are just buttons to press to get the highest score. So, if it is all a performance, why do people miss the red flags? Why do smart, intuitive people fall into the trap? The answer lies in our own psychology. It is a concept called normalcy bias. Our brains are hardwired to seek safety, predictability, and coherence. When we encounter something that feels slightly off, our brain immediately tries to explain it away using the most normal, rational excuse possible. If the charming neighbor has a weird, cold stare for a split second, your brain says, "Oh, he is just tired from work." If your new partner tells a blatant lie, your brain says they must have just misremembered. We desperately want the world to make sense. We need the story to be coherent. Believing that the person sleeping next to you is a monster is simply too much for the brain to process. It shatters our reality. So we edit reality to feel safe. We ignore the red flags because the truth is too terrifying to accept. We give them the benefit of the doubt again and again because admitting that evil exists in such a normal package means we are never truly safe. But this dark exploration into the Mask of Sanity is not just about understanding serial killers. The mechanisms they use, mirroring, impression management, exploiting our normalcy bias, are used every single day by toxic, manipulative people in our normal lives. Narcissistic bosses, emotionally abusive partners, toxic friends. They all use a diluted version of this exact same playbook. So, how do we protect ourselves? How do we see past the mask? Here are 3 critical psychological lessons you must remember to protect your mind and your life. Lesson number 1, consistency is a signal, not proof. We tend to think that if someone acts nice for 3 years, they must be a nice person. But remember, social masks can be incredibly stable. A psychopathic or highly manipulative person can maintain a facade for years if it serves their ultimate goal. Just because the mask has not slipped does not mean the face underneath is real. Do not confuse a long performance with genuine character. Lesson number 2, watch patterns. Not moments, a grand romantic gesture, a charming conversation, a sudden display of extreme kindness. These mean absolutely nothing in isolation. Anyone can fake a moment. What you must watch for are the patterns of behavior, especially when they think no one is looking or when they do not get what they want. One charming interaction is a moment, but repeated boundary violations. Repeated small lies, a sudden, unexplainable coldness when you no longer serve their needs. Those are patterns. The truth is always in the pattern, never in the moment. And finally, lesson number 3, your brain edits reality to feel safe. Spotting that bias is your real protection. You have to start noticing when you are making excuses for someone else's bad behavior. When your gut tells you something is wrong, but your logical brain immediately jumps in to defend them. Pause, ask yourself, am I seeing what is actually there, or am I seeing what I need to see to feel safe? Once you realize that your own brain is trying to protect you from an ugly truth, you take your power back. You stop being an easy target. The Mask of Sanity is terrifying because it forces us to accept a dark truth about the world. Evil does not always come with glowing red eyes and a sinister laugh. Sometimes evil comes with a warm smile, a firm handshake, and a perfectly normal life. But when you understand how the mask is constructed, when you understand how your own brain helps keep the mask in place, you can finally start to see the cracks, and seeing the cracks is the first step to saving yourself. If you made it this far, leave a comment below. Have you ever known someone who seemed completely perfect on the outside, but something just felt deeply wrong on the inside? How did you figure it out? I read every single comment, and I want to hear your story. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. We have so many more deep dives into the shadows of human psychology coming soon. Until next time, stay sharp, trust your instincts, and we will see you in the next video.